What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics. And up next, I've got a clip from when I was on Swagglehaus Comics just last week with a bunch of other great YouTube comic content creators. We are talking about that next big book that's going to break that $1 million mark. So stay tuned to check out that conversation. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you go over to the Swagglehaus Comics channel and check out the full live stream because it's a lot of fun, great conversation and topics with everyone there. So hope you enjoyed this clip.
Totally agree with you. And, it's cool to see these record sales. And, I have a feeling that we're going to see more in our lifetime, right? So we got to talk a little bit about, this, who wants to be a millionaire? I got some books here on the slide. We'll kind of break down these numbers a little bit so it becomes a little more clear. And I know that the feeling or the easy answer is going to be whichever one goes on sale next. I know that that's the obvious choice, but maybe we can make it a little more fun of a conversation and see if we can kind of have more interesting picks, like, maybe TOS 39. Knew we could talk about that one, but we have books here that I feel like are knocking on the door of the $1 million club, right? We got All-Star Comics, first appearance of Wonder Woman. We got Fun Comics, which is the first appearance of Aquaman, Showcase, Flash, Green Lantern, Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, X-Men, Dr. Doom. I don't need to break down what you guys already know all these books. And you can see the green number there is the PB, the personal best, the highest price that particular book has gone for. The grade underneath it is the grade that price commanded. Then the year is the year that it sold. And then the number underneath that is how many of those copies are higher grade than that. So if we look at like the Aquaman book, right, there's 10 that are higher grade than the 6.5. So even though that sold last year only at 192, there's 10 potential books that
is there a 9.9 X-Men 1?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, excuse me. No, I have that number there because there's one other 9.8. So
Okay.
A little bit of a caveat. I just wanted to recognize the fact that there's another.
Say, batten down the hatches. That one's going to be wild.
Well, let me throw it to Ryan or Drew here. You guys watch a lot of these big books. What do you think? Do you have any suspicion of which book will be the next one in the Millionaire Club?
Well, I mean, like there are a couple on there that are just like guaranteed, and that's the All-Star Comics and the X-Men one. I mean, because the All-Stars was knocking on the door 5 years ago, and the market is very different now. And then the X-Men, I mean, that's 10 years ago when it was at $500,000. Like, there's no question that book is a multi-million-dollar book now.
There's going to be so many people fighting for that book. It's going to be a knockdown drag out.
Yeah, especially if there's only one other copy. I mean, it's like if the 9.9 Hulk 181 ever comes up for sale again. Like, yeah, I can't even really guess. It's a multi-million-dollar book.
Right. A lot of people in the chat kind of feeling the X-Men one as well. Drew, you're kind of nodding. Do you think culturally, or just take away the fact that, yes, it's leaving it up to chance which one goes on sale, things like that. If all of these kind of went on sale tomorrow, let's throw away the Wonder Woman one. Do you feel like the X-Men one would kind of like hit it first?
I feel like it's definitely a leading contender. Now, there's a book that's not on this list that I think is a shoe-in, and that's All-American 16. There's an 8.0 copy. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's the single highest graded copy. And that book just doesn't exist. I mean, they are just not out there. So once that thing comes up, it's just going to rocket past $1 million.
Sorry, because I don't know. Which one is what is that book?
First Green Lantern.
Oh, original Green Lantern.
It's notoriously impossible to find. Ryan, I'm not misleading with that statement, am I?
I know it's one of those books that those and like the early More Funs, they're just
just More Fun period. Yeah, it's just a hard title find. And it's one of those books that most people, even if you have the means, it's a book you'll likely never own, not because you can't afford it, but because you won't have the opportunity to buy one.
And I'll say that's the dangerous thing and the fun thing about Golden Age, because like I like the fact that I can't go out and buy the book right now, even if I want it, like how it's like, you have to wait for that time and you have to be watching and paying attention. Cause like, it's
you can't even overpay for it.
Yeah. Like if I wanted an AF-15, I can go buy an AF-15, if I had the money, like, but if I want, that, if I want that, well, like the 9.8 of X-Men 1, I don't know who owns it. I can't go out and get that book. That's the type of stuff I think is really fun, especially when you get to those like really high grades and Golden Age books. The Golden Age books makes it more fun because it's stuff that I can actually afford. There can be a book that's $1,000, but it only comes up for sale once every 8 months, and you just have to be watching the right auction at the right time to catch it. That kind of stuff is that's what's gotten exciting for me about those Golden Age books.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Newbie, can you respond to Scott here? He's saying surprised people care about Tales of Suspense 39.
I am too.
Do you
listen? The easy answer would obviously be X-Men 1. I mean, that was 10 years ago. Obviously, that Wonder Woman 2. I mean, that's probably $1 million book now. The two I would look out is definitely Hulk 1 and Tales of Suspense 39. And Swag, we've talked about the Tales of Suspense 39. I think just it's got one of those. What can I compare it to? Andy Murray, right? Not respected in its own time. I think it'll be respected. And if you don't know who Andy Murray is, he's a tennis player. Just wrong era. I just think, not enough people really care about it, and it's a character that is kind of over. If they use him in the future, it's probably going to be AI. But I really do think that Hulk 1 and Tales of Suspense 39 one day will be up there for sure.
Yeah.
Not maybe next, but definitely up there.
Hulk 1, I talked about that in a recent video. Like those first 6 issues of Hulk, I don't know what's going on with them the last like 3-4 months, but they've all like doubled and tripled in price. And so like that's why that one you could see that one potentially breaking it.
I mean, people are getting excited for the Hulk having a factor here. But Chris and Brian, what about you guys? You guys have any thoughts? I mean, on these?
I just want to say that I gotta, everyone's hating on Newbie here for his love of Iron Man, but I'm with them. Obviously, Wonder Woman 5 years later, if that book goes for sale right now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that hit close to 2 million, to be quite honest.
Right.
X-Men #1, 10 years ago, that's over $1 million, over $1 million if it goes on the market. I absolutely agree. The thing with the Tales of Suspense, because look at this. It was 5 years ago, and it was a 9.6 sale that sold for $275.
Yeah.
We know that the price difference already between a 9.8 and a 9.6 is usually, especially for big keys like this, I mean, it could be triple to quadruple the price of the 9.6, which at a 5-year-old value would roughly already put it around anywhere from a $700,000 to $1 million book then.
Yeah.
So I think,
we just, sorry to interrupt, but even look at the FF one here, just one grade bump, 264 to 1.5 mil.
Exactly. So I think the thing that we need to consider is that grade bump for that Tales of Suspense is a 9.8. So if that 9.8 came on the market today, I hands down.
And you got to believe if that happens, I will be taking so many pictures, going on so many channels.
Well, I mean,
every bank in
if
Canada is going to
9.8
get robbed as Newbie tries to finance the purchase of this thing.
It's not beating the 3.12 cap.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are, forgetting the Doctor Doom book. I think that Doctor Doom book is such a tough book to find in high grade. And
look at the chances there. You have 16 chances.
Yeah.
Higher books that are going to sell. Like that's 16 above the one that I have listed there.
And that is, I look at Doctor Doom like the Joker of the Marvel. You know what I mean? It's one of those, that one villain where like they can screw up that villain so many times in movies and whatever, and it's still just going to be the best villain in Marvel, in my opinion. And then the Hulk is a monster. Like, everybody's talking about what it's been selling for. I think rightfully so. That book is so hard and high grade. And I mean, the Hulk book is one of those books that I remember 10 years ago, people talking about, how hard it is to find.
Yeah.
And I give newbie crap about that Tales of Suspense 39, but I really do like that cover. I've always thought it's an awesome first appearance cover. And I think I really like the blue on there. It contrasts really well. So I do give him crap, but it is a good book.
Yeah.
You better not get it before me, because I will be pissed.
The thing, Newbie, I tell you, the thing you need to watch.
I'm just going to buy one.
The thing you need to watch out with your TOS 39 is you need to make sure you get what's called a full quotes copy, because the wrap on that book is so bad that a lot of times the quotes around Iron Man, There's full quotes, which have both quotations. There's single quotes that just have one. And sometimes they're so bad, there's no quotes on the backside. So that's, if you really want to get down into the details, that's the TOS 39 you need. You need the full quotes TOS 39. I have one. I won't sell it to you.
I think Dan has a no quotes one too.
Yeah, he does. He shows it off all the time.
All right. Well, before we move on to the next, Drew or anyone, can you guys just for devil's advocate's sake, anyone want to pitch me on Aquaman, Flash, or Green Lantern getting there, beating out these people?
Well, I mean, if a high grade of that more fun comes up for sale, it could. Now, and the funny thing with that book is like Aquaman used to be kind of like a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a book that has, I mean, it's extremely rare. And not on the cover, but it's also a multi-key because you've got Aquaman, you've got Green Arrow and Speedy. So it has a lot going for it. But I mean, they don't. I think I watched that. That might have been a heritage sale. They don't come up for sale hardly ever.
But do you think someone would list, because if we get Aquaman 2 next year, someone going to put up their book? It's
always weird thinking about people selling like mega keys like that because of movie spec. It is very strange. I mean, almost nothing is immune to that. There are a few, but it probably still wouldn't be immune to it. I could see it. I could see it happening if somebody really wanted to cash in.
If Ezra Miller stops getting arrested, I think maybe the Flash, if it's good, could see some spikes for sure.
Well, we forget on that Flash the history that book holds in the comic.
Yeah, it's true.
Universe. I mean, that started an age of comics right there.
Absolutely.
And
all right,
the Atomic 99 is the single highest 181. The biggest problem with it is an old label CGC, so it will never get in a new case ever, unless you take like an insurance policy to
Nobody's
have them.
Cracking that.
Would it to
God.
JT's point? Would anyone throw out? Do you guys think Wolverine, the Hulk 181, the 9.9 could hit $1 million? Like obviously, maybe do the rate inflation like 20 years. Like today, if it went on sale, you think it could? Okay,
100%.
Same thing with the X-Men one. It's going to be a fight. Somebody out there has to have that book, and they're going to do whatever it takes.
All right, so hope you enjoyed that clip. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more content from my channel, I've got more videos over here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. The subscription button is right here, and I will see you in the next video.